Your mind is sovereign. Your mind is your kingdom, no one else's. Every thought, every decision, every emotion you allow into your mind is either fortifying your kingdom or letting in enemies. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that the mind, while capable of extraordinary strength, was also dangerously vulnerable to outside influence. It could be shaped, bent, even conquered by things unworthy of its potential: opinions, fears, vanities, distractions. To think like a king, you must think like the ultimate ruler of your own life, not with arrogance or tyranny, but with disciplined sovereignty. You must guard your mind as a fortress, letting in only that which strengthens you, only that which honors your values. You are the leader of your mind, your life, and your actions. Leadership starts internally. It is not given by others. It is claimed by yourself. When you think like a leader, act with conviction, and move with quiet authority, you become unshakable. The storms of life will no longer uproot you. Disagreements will no longer dismantle you. Failures will no longer define you. People around you will feel the shift in your presence, your words, your silence. You will wear a crown invisible to the eye but unmistakable to the soul. Let us begin the journey to build this inner strength. Chapter 1. Guard your gates. The mind is under constant siege, day and night, from within and without. Every piece of information, every opinion voiced by others, every whisper of fear and uncertainty tries to find fertile ground in your inner sanctuary. The Stoics taught that guarding what enters the mind is not just an act of wisdom. It is a primary duty for anyone seeking mastery over themselves. If you allow gossip, envy, bitterness, and fear into your gates, they will soon grow roots, creep along the pillars of your reason, and eventually dominate the halls of your mind. In daily life, this vigilance requires deep intentionality about what you consume and who you associate with. The books you choose to read, the media you absorb, the conversations you entertain, these are the influences standing outside your gates. Some bring treasures of wisdom and strength, others bring poison disguised as entertainment, fear disguised as information. Each choice you make either builds the defenses of your inner world or leaves it vulnerable to rot and decay. This principle demands reflection. It is not just about avoiding the harmful, but actively seeking the good. To grow stronger, you must seek the company of noble ideas, converse with minds greater than your own through study, and welcome only those influences that nurture courage, patience, and clarity. Epictetus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." Your opinions are formed by what you allow in. If your mind is constantly fed drama, negativity, and cheap pleasures, then your opinions will inevitably be distorted, colored by the shallow emotions and fleeting impulses of the external world. Over time, your judgments will begin to lose their sharpness, your resilience will weaken, and your sense of direction will blur. You will find yourself reacting to life rather than shaping it, led by influences you never consciously chose. Thus, your gatekeeping must be methodical, rigorous, and enduring, not a casual habit, but a deliberate way of life. You must build a filter that becomes second nature, one that constantly asks, does this strengthen me, or does it weaken me? Even a small, unchecked idea, if allowed to enter unnoticed, can burrow deep into the foundation of your mind, slowly eroding your sovereignty without your awareness. Like a single drop of water can wear away stone over time, so too can small lapses in vigilance dismantle the very structure you have worked to build. These lapses may seem insignificant in the moment, a careless comment absorbed without reflection, a negative news story left to stew in your subconscious. But their cumulative effect is profound. Bit by bit, your focus blurs, your discipline weakens, and your resilience crumbles. It is not the grand, obvious assaults that most often erode our fortresses. It is the unseen, the subtle, the ordinary distractions and falsehoods left unchecked. Thus, the protection of your mind must become your sacred duty, treated with the seriousness of a guardian standing watch over something infinitely precious. You must honor this duty with unbreakable discipline, cultivating a sharp and enduring awareness of what you allow to shape you. Self-awareness must be your constant companion, urging you to reflect moment by moment on whether your actions, thoughts, and feelings are aligned with your deepest values. Relentless care must guide you, not just when life is difficult and obvious dangers loom, but even more so during times of ease, when complacency tempts you to lower your guard. Mastery is built not merely by surviving the obvious battles, but by winning the quiet ones, where vigilance must be constant and invisible to the world, yet fully visible to yourself. Begin each day by asking, what am I allowing into my mind today? Curate your inputs as you would curate the guests to a sacred space. Protect your peace as the most precious asset you own. Chapter 2. Decide with conviction. Indecision is the enemy of growth. A true Stoic decides swiftly, based on principles, not whims. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Thinking with authority requires making choices from a place of deep clarity, a clarity built on self-knowledge, values, and unshakable principles. This clarity is not stumbled upon by accident. It is forged through deliberate reflection, the continual testing of one's beliefs against reality, and the fearless pruning away of what is weak or false. It is the hard-won result of countless small efforts, moments of honesty with oneself, moments of choosing to think deeply when the world encourages superficiality. You do not waver like a ship without a captain, tossed about by the waves of uncertainty and indecision. Instead, you stand firm at the helm, setting a course with intention and refusing to be distracted by every passing breeze of doubt, temptation, or fear. Your clarity becomes your compass, your decisions the strokes that carve your path through the seas of life. You assess your situation carefully, weighing it against your guiding principles, those fundamental truths you have chosen to live by, not borrowed from others, but painstakingly built through experience and introspection. You act with confidence, trusting in your preparation, your reason, and your integrity. Once you act, you move forward without looking back with regret, understanding that regret is often the whisper of fear trying to undermine your confidence. A decision, once made with wisdom and good intention, is a foundation stone, not a chain of bondage. It supports the architecture of a deliberate life. Every wise decision is a monument to your authority over yourself, a testament to the disciplined mind that chooses action over paralysis. The modern world tempts you with endless options, countless distractions, and the seductive allure of second-guessing. It promotes a culture of hesitation, whispering that perhaps one more article, one more opinion, one more moment of doubt will reveal the perfect path. It fosters the false ideal of perfect certainty, leading you to mistrust your instincts and defer your power to act. It presents the illusion that perfection lies just beyond the next horizon, if only you would delay a little longer. If you indulge in this temptation, you weaken your ability to act, sap your energy, and lose the momentum essential for shaping the life you aspire to build. Decision-making must not be a sporadic, reluctant task. It must be a practiced, refined discipline, an expression of your sovereignty over yourself. Every decision, whether minor or major, must be seen as an opportunity to strengthen your internal compass, to deepen your trust in yourself, and to reinforce the pathways of decisive action in your mind. Each day is an opportunity to sharpen your instincts, fortify your resolve, and deepen your clarity, so that your mind becomes a sword capable of cutting cleanly through the entangling webs of modern noise and confusion. Life will throw complexities at you, but a mind trained in clarity will not falter at the first sign of contradiction or chaos. It will find the simple, steady thread through the storm and follow it with unwavering faith. You build this strength by choosing to act in alignment with your highest principles, even when uncertainty gnaws at you, even when fear whispers that inaction would be safer, that hesitation would somehow protect you. Fear will disguise itself in many forms: prudence, caution, even wisdom, but you must learn to discern its voice and act nonetheless. You reinforce your strength by standing by your choices, learning from both triumphs and failures without indulging in self-recrimination or self-praise. Success and failure are external. The true achievement is the growth of your inner discipline and consistency. Over time, your decisiveness becomes not a reckless rush to judgment, but a calm, deliberate, unstoppable force. A quiet but undeniable power that others sense and respect, even if they cannot articulate why. It is the visible expression of a mind that knows itself, trusts itself, and governs itself with unwavering command and serene authority. Every time you face a decision, small or large, treat it as sacred practice, an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are capable of governing your life by reason, principle, and courage. Decide firmly, not impulsively, but with confidence rooted in reflection. Reflect on your values, not your fears. Let your fears inform your awareness, but never dictate your actions. Each decision is a chisel stroke, shaping the statue of your character. Train yourself to act with conviction again and again, and you will forge a mind as steady as stone, capable of carrying the weight of any challenge, enduring any hardship, and meeting life with a presence that is both unmovable and alive with purpose. Over months and years, you will become not merely someone who makes decisions, but someone who embodies decisiveness itself, an architect of their destiny, a guardian of their soul. Chapter 3. Walk with authority. You cannot cultivate strength and carry yourself with weakness. Your body language, your tone, your posture, they all announce who you believe you are before you even speak. Before your words form on your lips, before your actions are witnessed, your very presence sends a message. The way you hold your shoulders, the steadiness of your gaze, the measured pace of your movements, these are the first declarations of your character. The Stoics were not concerned with vanity, but they understood the profound importance of bearing. They knew that how you carry yourself is a reflection of how you command yourself internally. A person who carries themselves with dignity, composure, and quiet confidence commands respect without ever needing to demand it. Seneca wrote, "A great mind becomes a great fortune, and that fortune, that richness of soul, naturally radiates outward and touches those who encounter it." When you walk with calm, controlled confidence, when you move through the world with intention and strength, you send a profound message to the world and to yourself. I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I need no external validation to anchor me. Every step you take, every motion you make, communicates a deep-seated assurance that stems not from a momentary mood, but from a foundation of cultivated strength. It is an unspoken affirmation that you have committed yourself to living with purpose, courage, and unwavering clarity. This is not about arrogance, pride, or seeking superiority over others. Arrogance demands recognition and external validation. True authority, by contrast, commands silent respect without uttering a single word. Pride craves applause and crumbles without it. Genuine strength walks its path with quiet certainty, whether watched or unseen. To carry yourself with true inner command is about quiet, unwavering belief in your leadership over your own life, a belief so deeply rooted that no insult, no dismissal, no misunderstanding from others can uproot it. It is an unshakable certainty that your value is intrinsic, not conditional. It is about the firm but gentle assertion that you govern yourself, that you belong to yourself completely and irrevocably, and that you act not from compulsion, trend, or external influence, but from the powerful river of conviction flowing tirelessly within your spirit. When you align your outer bearing with your inner discipline, when every glance, gesture, and word flows from a place of considered self-governance and steadfast character, your presence becomes a beacon, silent yet undeniable, luminous without fanfare. You project an energy that cannot be manufactured, mimicked, or faked. It is an energy that touches the deeper instincts of those who encounter you, evoking either quiet admiration or silent discomfort, but never indifference. You no longer need to persuade others of your worth. They will sense it instinctively, as if recognizing something ancient and true. You no longer need to shout to be heard. Your very being, your silent walk, your steady gaze, your deliberate, measured movements will speak volumes through your silence, your calmness, your unwavering presence amid the chaos of life. This is the power of walking with true authority, a power born not from theatrical display, outward swagger, or bombastic gestures, but from deep, cultivated authenticity. It is a quiet majesty rooted in long-forged character and self-respect. It is a living testimony to a life ruled by self-discipline, daily reflection, constant refinement, and unwavering adherence to your highest principles, even when no reward or recognition is promised. It is the rare and radiant expression of someone who has made their inner fortress strong enough to shape the outer world, someone whose spirit moves the environment around them without ever being moved by it. It is the manifestation of an internal victory so profound that it can withstand all the noise, temptations, and storms of the world without losing its sovereign calm. Practice walking, speaking, and sitting with profound awareness, as if every movement is a conscious declaration of who you are. Straighten your spine, feeling the strength that rises from a firm and steady foundation. Allow your shoulders to fall back naturally, symbolizing your openness and strength, not closed off by fear or tension. Let your steps be deliberate, each one grounded in the earth with calm certainty. Slow your speech slightly, not to appear calculated, but to give your words the weight and clarity that rushed speech can never achieve. Speak as though every word matters, because it does. Your voice should carry the gravity of thoughtfulness and inner poise. Practice silence as well, letting the pauses between your words speak of your confidence and self-command. Make eye contact that is steady, but not aggressive, that says clearly, "I see you, and I am unafraid to be seen." Let your gaze reflect sincerity, calm strength and attentiveness, not dominance or neediness. Treat every action, no matter how small, as a living reflection of your inner discipline. From the way you sit, to the way you enter a room, to the way you listen. Let every gesture, every movement, every word be a living testament to the fortress of character you are continually building within yourself. Chapter 4. Endure the trials. Every stronghold faces sieges, storms, betrayals, and periods of famine. Your mind, your life, will endure the same. Thinking with authority means not only acknowledging that trials are inevitable, but actively preparing for them with calm and clarity. It requires the acceptance that adversity is not a detour from life, but one of its primary landscapes. True strength is not found in the absence of difficulty, but in the courageous, disciplined, and composed way you meet it. The Stoics called this preparation premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It is a deliberate and strategic practice of envisioning adversity before it strikes, training the mind to face imagined hardships so that it will not tremble when real ones arise. By imagining possible misfortunes, loss, illness, betrayal, hardship, pain, and even death, you fortify your spirit against shock, surprise, and emotional collapse. This practice is not about fostering fear or pessimism, but about building emotional armor, creating a mind that can absorb the blows of fortune without breaking. You become, in essence, a strategist of the mind, mapping out the terrain of suffering before you must march across it, ensuring that every step is deliberate and resilient. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on loss, hardship, and even death, not to cultivate despair, not to sink into morbid gloom, but to ready his spirit for the inevitable. He recognized that by confronting the worst possibilities within the safe confines of thought, he robbed them of their terror in the real world. When trials came, as they inevitably would, a Stoic meets them not with panic, bitterness, or resentment, but with serene composure, understanding that hardships are not personal punishments or cosmic injustices, but essential features of the human experience. They are the proving grounds of character. Hardships do not define a Stoic. Rather, it is their disciplined, wise, and unwavering response to hardships that defines them. In facing suffering with a prepared and resolute mind, a Stoic does more than survive. They elevate adversity into a catalyst for transformation. Obstacles are no longer merely hindrances, but become vital arenas where internal mastery and resilience are displayed and refined. Each hardship becomes a crucible, each setback a proving ground, where the qualities of courage, patience, and endurance are tested and hardened. Trials become the fires through which inner fortitude is tempered, searing away weakness and forging a spirit capable of standing tall against all storms. Challenges transform into the sharpening stones that hone wisdom and strengthen moral fiber. Just as a blacksmith forges steel with relentless hammer blows, the prepared mind welcomes life's hardships as tools of greater refinement, shaping strength, wisdom, and grace from the raw material of experience. The prepared mind transforms adversity from a curse into a teacher, a relentless but wise mentor that demands much but gives even more. Suffering, rather than becoming a burden too heavy to bear, becomes a forge, a sacred space where impurities are burned away and true character is revealed. It is within this forge that you build an unbreakable foundation, a core of resolve that no external circumstance can penetrate. By embracing this mindset daily, by rehearsing it not only in thought but in action, you do not merely endure life's inevitable storms. You rise through them, strengthened, purified, and ever more capable of commanding yourself amidst chaos. You become the steady lighthouse in a turbulent sea, unwavering in your light, a testament to the indomitable strength that grows only in the presence of trial. Spend 5 minutes each morning imagining the difficulties you might face that day. Do not rush through this exercise. Allow your mind to fully explore the scenarios you could encounter: disagreements, unexpected setbacks, moments of fatigue, temptations to stray from your values. Picture these trials vividly, as if they are already unfolding before you. Visualize yourself responding not with panic or frustration, but with patience, strength, and wisdom. See yourself remaining calm when confronted, composed when challenged, resilient when tested. Imagine your mind steady as a mountain, your spirit unshaken by the winds of circumstance. Picture yourself transforming each obstacle into an opportunity to embody your highest principles. Prepare your mind for the inevitable, for no day will ever unfold exactly as you wish. Train yourself to expect challenges, to welcome them as chances to grow stronger. Approach your day armored with foresight and fortified by deliberate intention. Meet each trial not with dread, but with grace, as a master of yourself, unshaken by the turbulence of life. Chapter 5. Build inner strength. Self-mastery is an invisible art, cultivated quietly within the chambers of your own mind. You do not need to proclaim your strength. It will emanate naturally, like heat from a fire, sensed even by those who cannot see its source. True authority is felt, not flaunted. It shapes the atmosphere around you without effort, making its presence known through the calm steadiness with which you live. The Stoics believed that true greatness is inward, not dependent on accolades, wealth, or external circumstances. A person who has mastered themselves does not need to announce their power with words or demonstrations. Their serenity, resilience, and clarity speak volumes in their stead. Their silence is meaningful, their composure instructive, their consistency inspiring. When the world trembles, they remain unmoved. When confusion reigns, they remain clear. It is their unshakable foundation, built quietly over time, that marks them apart. In daily life, this inner greatness manifests through consistent acts of integrity, choosing honesty when deceit would be easier, maintaining discipline when there is no immediate reward or recognition, upholding principles when shortcuts beckon with tempting ease. It is about speaking the truth even when silence would shield you from immediate discomfort, standing firm in your values even when no one applauds, supports, or even notices. Each of these moments, though seemingly small and insignificant, becomes a sacred thread in the grand weaving of your character. Every decision to uphold integrity fortifies the walls of your inner fortress, layer upon layer, until your spirit becomes a stronghold that cannot be breached by circumstance, criticism, or misfortune. It is about forging a discipline so refined that it becomes second nature, choosing courage over comfort, authenticity over acceptance, and perseverance over fleeting pleasure. These daily acts of unseen excellence do not seek an audience or validation. They are performed in the quiet places of your life, in the conversations no one hears, in the decisions no one witnesses, in the battles only you will ever know were fought. True self-mastery is the patient accumulation of these invisible victories, each choice a vibrant and resilient thread in the intricate tapestry of your inner world, each action a living declaration of who you have chosen and are still choosing to become. Every honest word spoken, every temptation resisted, every discipline upheld when no one is watching adds a new fiber of strength to your spirit. These unseen efforts, dismissed by the world as insignificant, form the hidden architecture of a character so enduring that it cannot be swayed by praise or broken by scorn. Over time, these acts of integrity and discipline form a pattern so strong, so beautifully interwoven, that it cannot be unraveled by the frictions of external life, by failures, setbacks, losses, or betrayals. They create a resilience that absorbs shocks without splintering, a steadfastness that bends with adversity but never breaks. Your life becomes a living testament to inner fortitude, each day layering more strength, more clarity, more unwavering resolve onto the foundations you have chosen to build. It becomes your silent anthem, the steady rhythm by which you move through the world with grace and quiet power. It becomes your invisible crown, not something worn with arrogance, but born with the dignity of one who has conquered themselves. This invisible crown is felt, not seen, a presence that needs no announcement, no decoration, only the unmistakable gravity of a life lived by principle. It is the undeniable proof that true greatness is not granted by fortune, nor bestowed by circumstance, but built patiently, painstakingly, and gloriously through countless unseen triumphs of the will, each one a deliberate act of becoming, each one a stone laid carefully and intentionally upon the citadel of your soul. Each act of courage in the face of fear, each decision to act rightly despite temptation, each moment of perseverance when quitting would have been easier. These form the hidden pillars that hold up a life of true authority. This citadel is not built in a day, nor is it ever complete. It is an eternal work in progress, strengthened daily by the choices you make and the character you build when no one is watching. It becomes the silent monument to your endurance, your virtue, and your commitment to a life of meaning rather than convenience. It rises quietly within you until it becomes a fortress so resilient that no storm of fate can breach its walls, no wave of public opinion can erode its foundations. Greatness, then, is not a destination reached by accident, but a path traveled with sacred intention, paved stone by stone with the discipline of your thoughts, the integrity of your actions, and the unwavering fidelity to your highest self. Each evening, set aside a quiet moment to ask yourself, did I live today as the leader of my mind? Let this not be a hurried thought, but a sincere inquiry, a time of reflective honesty where you lay bare the truth of your actions and your intentions. Revisit the moments where your strength was tested, where your patience wore thin, where your convictions stood firm or faltered. Examine how you spoke, how you moved, how you responded to difficulty or ease. Measure your day not by the fleeting standards of external achievements, accolades, or visible success, but by the sturdier measure of your internal governance, by the constancy of your discipline, the fidelity to your values, the clarity of your thought, and the steadiness of your emotions. Did you act from your higher self, or allow your lower impulses to govern you? Did you build your citadel stronger, or allow small cracks to form? This nightly ritual is not about self-criticism, but about awareness, about strengthening the bond you have with your truest self, preparing you to meet tomorrow with greater wisdom, greater resilience, and even deeper self-command. Chapter 6. Master your reactions. Authority over oneself begins with mastering your reactions, for it is through our responses to life's inevitable challenges that true strength is revealed and refined. The Stoics taught that our reactions are the only thing truly under our control, the final frontier where the storm of external chaos meets the unshakable order of a well-governed mind. In this narrow space between stimulus and response lies your ultimate freedom. When someone offends you, when events unravel contrary to your plans and expectations, you stand at a decisive crossroads. It is in these critical moments that the reality of your inner strength is tested. React wildly, with anger, blame, despair, or impulsive words, and you surrender your sovereignty to forces outside of yourself. You allow circumstance to dictate your inner state, allowing fleeting emotions to erode your composure, cloud your judgment, and weaken your position. You transform yourself from an agent of your own destiny into a puppet of external chaos, but respond thoughtfully, with patience, wisdom, and composure, and you reaffirm your strength, tightening your grasp on the reins of your own soul. You reassert your dignity and reclaim your authorship over your life, proving that your inner peace and self-respect are not dependent on external outcomes, but are products of your internal command. In every moment of adversity, you are given a sacred opportunity to deepen your mastery. Each insult is a chance to cultivate equanimity, each disappointment an opening to strengthen your resilience, each unforeseen obstacle a silent invitation to practice your highest virtues. These challenges, when embraced with the right mindset, do not weaken you. They carve you into something stronger, something more enduring. Each difficulty offers the chance to reinforce the muscles of your discipline, patience, and moral courage. They serve as unseen training grounds where your spirit is refined and your true character revealed. Every reaction you choose with consciousness and deliberation is another stone laid in the fortress of your self-command, another brick in the unbreakable wall of your resilience. another step towards unshakable strength. These moments, though often small and unnoticed by others, are profound acts of self-creation. Each time you govern yourself rather than be governed by impulse, you are building an interior world that no storm can shake, no enemy can breach, and no misfortune can weaken. This inner fortress becomes not only your refuge, but your source of strength and clarity in a turbulent world. True power lies not in trying to bend the world to your will, not in controlling every outcome or dominating others, but in mastering your own mind and spirit within it. To remain steadfast in who you are, unwavering in your values, and deeply anchored in your principles, regardless of what befalls you. It is the ability to meet insult with patience, failure with resolve, uncertainty with courage, and temptation with integrity. To meet life on these terms is to rise above mere existence and move into the realm of true living, a life defined not by reactive habits, but by deliberate choice, not by chaos, but by harmony, not by submission to the tides of circumstance, but by serene, unshakable inner authority. It is to live not as a leaf tossed by the wind, but as a rooted tree that weathers the seasons with grace and strength. It is to act, not to be acted upon, to steer your course with mindful intent rather than drift aimlessly on currents of chance. It is a life lived as a sovereign of yourself, walking the earth with quiet dignity and enduring strength, a presence that influences without force and inspires without boast. You become a living example that resilience, wisdom, and true freedom are cultivated from within, and that no external power can strip away what has been built by a disciplined and deliberate soul. When you feel anger, fear, or despair rise up, pause, breathe, name the emotion without judgment. Choose your response deliberately, as a strategist would plan a crucial move. Chapter 7. Speak with purpose. Words are tools of leadership, precise instruments that can either build empires of understanding or topple them into confusion. Careless speech causes confusion, weakens relationships, and diminishes authority, while purposeful speech builds clarity, trust, and respect. Words, when wielded with intention, become powerful agents of transformation, shaping not only how others see the world, but how you see yourself. The Stoics valued silence over senseless chatter, understanding that words, once spoken, cannot be reclaimed, and that speech without thought is as dangerous as action without principle. Words have the power to heal or harm, to clarify or confuse, and their impact ripples far beyond the moment they are uttered. Speaking less, but with greater purpose, ensures that your words carry more weight, commanding attention not because they are loud or frequent, but because they are rare, deliberate, and necessary. Each word spoken with intention becomes a beacon of your self-mastery and inner clarity. Your speech should reflect your inner discipline, mirroring the order and intentionality you have cultivated within your mind through diligent practice. Careful speech is the outward evidence of an inwardly ordered soul, a demonstration that you have tamed your impulses and can channel your thoughts with precision and care. In your daily life, make every word count. Do not speak simply to fill the silence. Instead, view silence as a fertile field, one that should be disturbed only by seeds of true value. Speak when your words can genuinely improve the silence, when they can offer truth, inspire strength, encourage understanding, or defend what is just and noble. Let your words serve as gentle builders rather than careless demolishers, always mindful of their impact. Each word should be weighed and measured, born from reflection rather than impulse, crafted carefully like a fine tool that serves a meaningful purpose. When you do speak, let your words be rooted firmly in honesty, steeped in respect, and aimed at usefulness, like arrows carefully drawn from a quiver with a clear and noble target. each one crafted to strike true at the heart of what matters. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to demonstrate not only what you think, but who you are, a mirror reflecting your internal discipline, your empathy, and your commitment to living intentionally. It is in dialogue where your patience, wisdom, and respect for others are made most visible. Words spoken with mindfulness become bridges that connect souls, allowing understanding and trust to grow. They become lamps that light the dark corridors of misunderstanding and fear, drawing people toward greater truth and unity. Reckless words build walls, fuel conflict, and deepen division. Mindful words dissolve barriers and bring clarity where there was once confusion. By treating speech as a sacred act, you build a reputation for thoughtfulness, integrity, and wisdom, a quiet yet undeniable force that speaks volumes even when few words are used. Each carefully chosen word adds weight to your presence, establishing you as someone whose voice commands attention not by volume, but by its rare and deliberate substance. Over time, your presence will command respect, not because you seek it, but because your words, when offered, always carry the weight of careful thought, genuine intention, and cultivated inner strength. People will lean in to hear you, understanding intuitively that your speech is not casual but purposeful, not reactive but reflective. Others will come to recognize that when you choose to speak, it is worth listening, not because you demand attention through force, performance, or theatrics, but because you have earned trust through a life of disciplined thought, compassionate listening, and deliberate action. Your reputation will not be built upon loud declarations, but upon the quiet, consistent quality of your character. Your words will begin to carry a rare and precious weight, each syllable reflecting the deep labor you have poured into your inner development. People will sense, even before you speak, that your voice comes from a well of genuine wisdom, not from a thirst for validation. Your words will come to embody your integrity, your self-mastery, and your unwavering commitment to truth, echoing the silent labor of countless moments spent forging your character, the late-night reflections, the moments of difficult restraint, the hours spent cultivating inner clarity. Every utterance will serve as a window into the disciplined, principled soul behind it, showing a life refined by patience, resilience, and thoughtfulness. Your speech will no longer be mere sound. It will become a living extension of your values, a tangible and unmistakable manifestation of your internal discipline, a visible ripple of the unshakable order you have built within yourself. It will be a testament to the strength, clarity, resilience, and authenticity of your character, a voice that rises not from ego, but from depth, not from noise, but from a reservoir of earned authority and unbreakable calm. Practice speaking more slowly and deliberately, allowing your words the dignity of measured release rather than impulsive scatter. Feel the full meaning of your speech before you give it life. Before you open your mouth, pause and ask yourself with full sincerity, is this true? Is it necessary? Does it reflect my highest values? Let this moment of reflection become a daily ritual, a gate through which only your best and most intentional expressions pass. Your words will then carry the undeniable power of self-mastery, resonating not just with logic, but with the deep force of a mind fully aligned with its principles, a voice that mirrors a life lived with unwavering authority. Chapter 8. Command your time. Time is the ultimate currency, more precious than any treasure that can be accumulated or safeguarded. Seneca wrote, "People are frugal with their property, but not with their time, though time is the one thing it is right to be stingy with." Every moment that passes is a moment you can never reclaim, a fragment of your life slipping quietly into the past. To treat time lightly is to treat life itself with carelessness. Someone who wastes time squanders their potential, leaking away their chances to become what they are capable of being. You must treat your minutes and hours as treasures of the highest order, not to be hoarded in idleness, but to be invested wisely in pursuits that align with your deepest values and highest aspirations. Every distraction, every indulgence in triviality is a thief, stealing not just time but also clarity, momentum, and opportunity. It chips away at your potential, leaving you with the ghost of what might have been. Modern life offers endless distractions, a flood of noise and trivialities disguised as urgency. Notifications, news cycles, endless entertainment, these are the sirens calling you to shipwreck on the shores of mediocrity. To protect your focus, you must be disciplined about how you spend your time. You must become a vigilant guardian of your attention, filtering every demand on your time through the lens of its true worth. Choosing carefully where to invest your minutes is not merely a good habit. It is a defining act of leadership over your own life, a silent but powerful declaration of your priorities and your values. Begin each morning by thoughtfully listing the 3 most important things you must accomplish, not simply tasks, but actions that move you closer to your highest goals and deepest values. Reflect for a few moments before you write, identifying the work that, if completed, will strengthen your character, build your discipline, and fulfill your true priorities. Protect time for them fiercely, as a guardian protects sacred treasure. Block off periods in your day where your focus is absolute and your energy is directed solely toward these crucial tasks. Create boundaries around this time that are non-negotiable, treating these windows of deep work as a sacred appointment with yourself and your future. Refuse to allow trivial interruptions, emails, social media, idle conversations, fleeting distractions to pull you off course. View interruptions for what they truly are: thieves of your potential, intrusions upon the life you are striving to build. Fortify your environment and your mind against them. Each time you defend your focus, you reaffirm your authority over your life. Each time you complete your priorities with undivided attention, you strengthen the very foundation of your self-mastery and move one step closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Chapter 9. Cultivate inner wealth. True wealth lies not in possessions, not in the fleeting accumulation of material things, but in the enduring power of character. A person who depends on material wealth for their sense of worth is always a slave to it, forever tethered to something outside their own control, vulnerable to loss, envy, and fear. Their happiness rises and falls with circumstances. One who cultivates wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice, however, possesses a fortune that no enemy can seize, no thief can steal, and no misfortune can diminish. Their wealth is of the soul, unbreakable and eternal. In daily life, this means measuring yourself not by external standards, such as praise, possessions, popularity, but by internal ones. Ask yourself daily, are you becoming more patient in the face of frustration, more courageous when confronting fear, more disciplined when faced with temptation, more compassionate when dealing with ignorance? This is the true treasury of self-mastery, a richness that multiplies with every act of virtue, every conquered fear, every moment of disciplined thought and action. Spend time each week reflecting not on what you gained or lost outwardly, but on how you grew inwardly. Do not count only profits or accomplishments. Count the invisible victories, the moments you chose strength over weakness, kindness over cruelty, wisdom over impulse. Trace the subtle yet powerful shifts within yourself. Set goals for your character with the same intensity and seriousness others set financial goals. Invest in your patience, your integrity, your courage, your wisdom. For while gold may glitter for a moment, it is virtue that shines eternally, illuminating not only your path, but the paths of others who witness your example. Chapter 10. Master yourself, master your life. The final secret is that by mastering yourself, you master your life, completely, profoundly, and irreversibly. The external world may still be chaotic, unpredictable, harsh, and filled with storms beyond your control. But inside, where it matters most, you remain sovereign, untouched by the turmoil. Your mind becomes a citadel, your spirit a fortress of serenity amidst the clamor and noise. The Stoics did not teach withdrawal from life, nor did they advocate retreat into isolated detachment. Instead, they taught full, courageous engagement with life, not from a place of fear or reaction, but from a place of inner authority. True Stoic strength is not born from isolation, but from fearless participation, governed by reason and unwavering principle. When you act with self-leadership and respond with wisdom, you build a life that no external force, no loss, no betrayal, no injustice can truly topple. You become the immovable center within the ever-turning wheel of fortune. The invisible strength you carry will not just protect you from harm, it will radiate outward and inspire others without your needing to say a word. It will be felt in the way you enter a room, in the way you meet adversity without flinching, and in the calm certainty that lingers around you even in chaos. Your presence alone will serve as a quiet, undeniable testimony to the possibility of a life led by mastery rather than reaction, by unwavering purpose rather than fleeting circumstance, by intentional direction rather than aimless drift. You will walk through life as a quiet force, unbothered by the storms that tear others apart, grounded deeply by your principles, lifted continuously by your purpose. Your steps will be deliberate and composed, your words measured and meaningful, your heart steady and unyielding. You will embody patience when others panic, strength when others falter, and clarity when confusion reigns. Every action, every silence, every response will be a reflection of the deep citadel you have built within. Every morning as you rise, recommit yourself to this way of being. Sit for a moment in stillness, feeling the weight and importance of the day ahead. Say to yourself with conviction and deliberate clarity, "Today, I lead myself. Today, I build my life." Let these words not be mere repetition, not hollow echoes in the chambers of routine, but a solemn vow, an act of devotion to the highest version of yourself, an invocation of your deepest aspirations. Let them be a torch illuminating your path, a reminder that every moment is a chance to choose mastery over chaos, purpose over aimlessness, self-command over surrender, discipline over impulse, strength over fear. Throughout the day, carry this vow with you like a hidden shield, drawing strength from it whenever doubt or temptation attempts to sway you. Know that with each deliberate choice, you strengthen the bond between who you are and who you are striving to become. Every small act of patience, every quiet moment of resilience, every silent choice of courage becomes another thread woven into the fabric of your sovereign soul. The mind is your sanctuary, the sacred stronghold that must be guarded against corruption, strengthened through discipline, and honored with vigilance and reverence. Guard it as you would a priceless treasure, defending it fiercely from the encroachments of fear, doubt, and triviality. Lead it as you would a kingdom entrusted to your sacred stewardship, ruling not with tyranny, but with wisdom, foresight, and benevolence. Honor it as the birthplace of every action, every word, every destiny you will create. For from the mind flows the entire shape and color of your existence. Think with authority, live with strength, move through the world not as a leaf blown by external winds, but as the author of your fate, the commander of your soul, and the living embodiment of disciplined, courageous sovereignty, a beacon of inner mastery shining quietly yet unmistakably through every step, every word, every breath you take.